Hey everybody, Dimitri here and welcome to another healthy mukbang. I have prepared this wonderful feast for me here. I have my favorite dish of all time, shawarma, Doner Kebab Chicken, on a plate today, not in a wrapper. I love it in any shape or form, so this is absolutely amazing for me as well. Also, I have my favorite, one of the two favorite soups, Tom Yum soup. This is a sour and spicy Thai soup. It has some shrimps or mussels or salmon or whatever seafood you want there, and some mushrooms and some cherry tomatoes. Overall, this feast is simply amazing. I can't wait to dive right in. As usual, we start with prayer and affirmations ritual. Thank you, God, for this wonderful day, this wonderful word said before me. Food said before me, God, so much. This food that my benefit, my muscles grow stronger in my name of Jesus. My fighting diminishes, I succeed and prosper in Christ Jesus. I'm a victor in Jesus Christ. Thank you, God, so much. I give you all the praise in Jesus' name. Hallelujah. Right. Let's start with the tasty, tasty soup. This soup is normally served with some rice. And it's a creamy deliciousness, spicy, creamy. It has some coconut milk in there. The cream more so than milk. It's called coconut milk, but it's actually cream. And usually it has some rice in there. On keto, obviously, no rice for me. So I'm having some shiitake rice today, which is made from konjaku, not at all affiliated with brandy, cognac, alcohol. It's a kind of a plant, and you can make anything out of it. Noodles, rice, whatever you damn please. And it's gonna be almost 0 calories. The downside is it doesn't really have any taste, but in a soup it works wonderfully because it infuses the taste of a soup. And here you see a failure, like they obviously cut it from a sheet, so they failed to cut this and it dangles off the spoon like this. They have this sheet, they cut into small pieces to make rice, but they failed to cut the last part, so it ended up in this shape. Funny. Now today, I actually want to talk about one issue I have with intermittent fasting and 1 meal a day approach, which I found no one really talks about and no one really explains. I myself am huge about intermittent fasting. Since I found out and discovered that intermittent fasting exists, it's actually healthy to skip a meal and to only have 2 meals a day, or even 1 meal a day, and to eat in a condensed time frame and don't eat otherwise. I was relieved to know it because I always thought breakfast you must have, it's healthy, dinner you must have, it's healthy. It's like you have to eat these small bite-sized pieces of food like 6 times a day and it's healthy, and otherwise it's not. But when I discovered it's actually the reverse, I mean it's not the reverse, but there are many health benefits to eating less frequently and in the condensed time frame. I was relieved because I never liked to have a breakfast. I hated it and never wanted to have breakfast. When I switched to intermittent fasting, I saw immediate benefits and tremendous results. Sorry, it's a bit too spicy. I love spicy food, but this is... I've added some peppers to it, and it says mildly spicy on the package. But holy crap, like, I love spicy food. I can eat food some people just can't touch because they're too spicy. But these mildly spicy peppers are frigging spicy as hell. Oh my god. Soup though is absolutely amazing. Right, so intermittent fasting was a huge benefit to me. And when I was dieting down, aggressively restricting calories, 1 meal a day approach was an excessive benefit to me. Like, it's so easy to eat this way when you eat once a day, just once. You can eat a full load of meal, like a full proper meal, a lot of food, and still be very, very low on calories in terms of your daily allowance, and lose weight very good aggressively. And literally, like, it's a godsend. But one issue I found that no one talks about is, I'm going to explain a bit more after I enjoy some of this soup. It starts when you read about intermittent fasting, about this idea of eating less food, less frequently, more food but smaller amounts, smaller number of meals, and eating heavier meal in the evening, which is counterintuitive to most people who think it's the opposite should be true. And it talks about how our ancestors ate this way, like how our ancestors would wake up and go and work, and in the evening they would gather their family, their friends, and have a feast. It discusses how it's natural for us to work and then have a reward, and how in the evening, after you have worked hard, you get this feast to enjoy this reward, how it's like appropriate for our mindset, for the way our body works, and how our ancestors basically ate. And that's true. That's, evidence suggests, most likely how our ancestors did eat. Like, they didn't snack, they didn't have a full lunch, they would work the whole day and then eat in the evening. And many people, they have issue going to bed hungry, like they can't get proper sleep if they are hungry. It's natural, again, if your body is starved, it wants to find food, it doesn't want to sleep, because it doesn't want to die. It wants to find food and first be properly sated and then go and relax. So it makes sense on intermittent fasting to eat your last meal of the day, the biggest feast you have planned, and on 1 meal a day to eat it in the evening after you've done your work and you come and feast. And the issue is not immediately apparent, but what happens is food gradually becomes your reward. So your reward system is now food. It happens gradually. To me, it happened over years. I conditioned myself to take food as a sort of reward for the day well done, and to treat food as some sort of, again, reward for the actions I take during the day. This soup is very spicy with this pepper I added. I love spicy food, but this, holy crap, mildly spicy my ass. It's not mildly spicy at all, it's extremely spicy. Right. So the issue is now the food becomes reward. And that's a big issue. Why? Well, let's see. You should reward yourself for good behavior. You should also punish yourself for bad behavior, but not much. And you must never punish yourself for errors and mistakes, because mistakes are good. They point you where the right direction is. Mistake is like a mark on the road that you're going somewhere, then you find a signpost which says it's that way, not that way, turn around. And so you are glad to find it. So mistakes are like that. You should love your mistakes and you should take them appropriately as a sign towards your goal. saying you tried and failed. If you tried, that's a success. That's not a failure. If you tried, it's good. You should only punish yourself if you don't do it. Like if you didn't, if you procrastinated, if you did something out of the order or not the first priority, and that led to something prioritized being neglected and not done. In that case, you can slightly punish yourself, and maybe if you like completely disregarded knowledge you had and completely and obviously made the wrong decision just because you caved into some desires and urges, in that case maybe you should punish yourself a bit, but generally you should only reward yourself, and you should reward yourself a lot, but only if you have something you want reinforced in your behavior. Like you exercised, you worked out, you did something unpleasant but necessary, you achieved something, all that should be rewarded. Issue is, how do you reward yourself with food? Do you eat more? But that's against your goals. Food is for nourishment. You don't need more food. You need adequate amount of food according to your current goals. If you are fasting, dieting down, you need less food. If you are bulking, you need more food. If you are maintaining your weight, you need adequate amount of food. But regardless, you should anyways eat this food. Regardless of your daily outcome, you should nourish your body appropriately according to your goals, whether that weight loss, weight gain, or weight maintenance. So what does it mean to reward yourself? What if you did really well? How do you reward yourself if you did really well? Do you eat more food, but that's counterproductive to your goals? You will overeat and you will put on excess body fat you don't need. What if you didn't perform well? What if you deserve to be punished today? Do you not eat? But again, not eating should be a path towards the goal. Fasting is something you do not to punish yourself, but to reach your goals, to prolong your life, to reach longevity, to have autophagy, to recycle your old cells, to lose body weight, excess body fat. Fasting is not for punishment. Fasting is for health and for reaching your body weight goals. See the issue here. Say I did well today, I get to eat. Say I did very well. What do? I'm tempted to eat more, like to have more pleasure of chewing tasty food. But then, next day I'm like, okay, I overate, now I have to eat less today. I have to restrain myself because I don't want to gain extra body fat. It screws with your mind, really. It really creates this constant pain for the pleasure. Like you want to reward yourself, but then you know it's gonna be detrimental to you. At the same time, what if you did badly today? What if you procrastinated? What if you failed to do the important things? What if you neglected your common sense and caved in, like gave in to some cravings you should not have? But you still get to eat. It's improper to punish yourself by not having food. It's improper. Never do it. So you have to eat. So you still get the food. So you still get your pleasure. So you still get your reward, regardless of what you do. Our bodies are very primal, very simple. We function by evading pain and going for pleasure. Because by natural selection, what gives us pain is what leads to death, and what gives us pleasure is what leads to longevity and reproduction. That's how natural selection works. those people who had pleasure from things which brought them closer to death didn't leave offspring, they died. And they died faster, they left less offspring, so their genes would not pass on, their programming would not pass on. While people who had proper system in place, which made them avoid pain and suffering and things which bring them closer to dying, and made them seek pleasure, which brings them closer to living longer and prospering and reproducing, those people passed on their genes and their programming. And so we all have this kind of programming of these successful people. So for your body, it's seeking pleasure, and pleasure validates for your body that what it did is right. If what you did brought pleasure, it means what you did is right. If what you did brought pain, it means you did was not right. So whatever you did in the day, whatever you logically perceive as bad or good, as evil, as inappropriate for you, your body perceives it as good if you had pleasure in the end. And since you had pleasure from food, and food is your source of pleasure, now your body thinks everything's great. You have all these mental constructs about how badly you performed, how you procrastinated, how you failed. Sorry, it's so spicy. How you failed to achieve your daily goals, how you neglected your commitments. But your body is like, that's all bullshit. We had our food, we had our pleasure. That means we're doing great. If we would do badly, we would not have food. That's how your body works. And that's how you condition it with this system of having a big feast in the evening and having it as a reward for the day. You condition your body to treat it this way. You might say, okay, I can have some tastier, more expensive food if I want to reward myself, but why? Why would you not enjoy simpler foods? Cook them more tasty. Find simpler foods which taste well for you. I mean, find foods you can afford on a regular basis and enjoy them every day. There's no reason not to. There's no reason to deny yourself good foods which you find tasty. There's no reason. So again, if you eat properly and you eat a varied, tasty diet, which is healthy, there is no way you can eat better, like if you want to give yourself pleasure. Like maybe you want to give yourself a treat, go to a restaurant, order a crab or whatever, a steak, but then would it be better to just earn more money, learn to earn more money, expand your income so you can afford steaks on a regular basis, or find ways to enjoy meat without having to pay for an expensive restaurant steak? Find ways to enjoy other meat products or substitutes and just enjoy them without having to resort to going to the expensive restaurant. When you think about it, there's absolutely no need to ever eat untasty food or ever eat less tasty food than you could have. I'm sorry. There's absolutely no need to do it. You can just enjoy tasty food every day. And that means, again, you don't have any way to give yourself more pleasure or less pleasure because you already eat enough food and tasty food. The only way you can have more pleasure is to eat more food which contradicts your goals or body composition goals and messes up with your nourishment, with your nutrition. And while you cannot deprive yourself of this pleasure, because what would you do? Eat some untasty food? But why? And I mean, when you eat healthy, food is tasty by default. You cannot make it not tasty because you just love the taste of healthy foods. Because your taste buds are working perfectly and they distinguish what's healthy and good for you and like it. So you get attracted to having tasty foods. I mean healthy foods. You get attracted to having healthy foods and you find them tasty. So you can't make them not tasty. And so here we come to this problem. Either extra food becomes reward and that ruins our goals and creates this problem where the more pleasure we want to give ourselves, the more we damage our nutrition and body composition goals. And fasting becomes punishment, which is awful. I had this pitfall myself. Many people fall into this pitfall where they like binge and then they fast to like shed the extra calories they had. And this makes fasting a punishment, which it should never be. Fasting is perfectly healthy and awesome and should be pleasurable and enjoyable and leads to your well-being. You should never condition yourself to treat fasting as punishment. Okay, let's get to this kebab chicken here. I mean the salad first. Literally my favorite dish in the whole world. In a pizza, in lavash, in a flatbread, on a plate. Either way, it's absolutely amazing and delicious. So much I've put too much on the plate. So either it's that you have this system where you punish yourself by fasting, which is very bad, and give yourself pleasure by overeating, which is also very bad. Or you have a system where you get pleasure no matter what. So you're conditioned by behavior. You try to beat procrastination. But you give yourself pleasure either way. So your brain is like, what do we care? Procrastinate. We still get the food, so we're still doing it right. Unless your body gets a lack of pleasure or an abundance of pain, it doesn't know it's doing something wrong. That's the point. So if you have a source of pleasure at every evening, which you treat as reward, you will condition bad behavior in yourself. You won't be able to reduce bad behavior and effectively replace it with good behavior because you're lacking the crucial component, the pain and demotivation to do bad behavior. Moreover, you're reinforcing bad behavior every day. Because you have a feast every day and evening, which is good. Which is pleasure. And that's for your body. Whatever was done prior to that was done correctly, because it led to pleasure. And this is quite a significant issue, but hardly anyone talks about it. Like, really. The main issue here is to slowly condition yourself. It takes maybe years, and then it will take a lot of effort to uncondition yourself. And probably some drastic measures too. Like, I found that some days I would just procrastinate till the evening because I know I'm gonna get the food. So my body is like, I don't like to do what you want me to do, so I'm gonna do nothing until I get to eat. And again, what do? Do I punish myself by not eating? But then fasting becomes punishment, which is no good. Or if I eat, then I'm conditioning my body to procrastinate more. That's terrible. Literally terrible. Very bad. And I had to spend 20 days giving up this idea of eating in the evening, eating during the day and then not eating in the evening, just to start to uncondition myself. I still didn't beat it. Like, I still think I have a long way to go to uncondition myself from this, because it ruins you. Your ability to change your behavior, to adopt better habits, is so much handicapped when you work this way. You're very handicapped. Because when you can get yourself pleasure and pain on demand, it's very easy to condition your habits. Really. You just punish yourself a little bit for every step in the wrong direction, and you give yourself a lot of pleasure for every small step in the right direction. Your body just gets it and does it. At this point, the issue is I don't have the answer how to fix it. Really? I know for certain that you should have a system of punishment and pleasure, which, like reward, which does not involve cutting food intake or giving any food. Food should be for the purpose of nutrition, first and foremost. Yes, it's very good to eat tasty food, but only it's good to turn this experience of nurturing your body into tasty experience. It's not good to treat this as an experience for pleasure, because again, that breaks everything. One moment. Let's enjoy this tasty chicken here now. Oops. So this is the start of the show. Doner Kebab Chicken. simply amazing. I'm gonna mix the sauce here because it's even better with the sauce, of course. The couch is just so good. So I don't know for sure what to do. Because for me, unfortunately, food became a reward and that's hurting me a lot. And again, I don't want to eat untasty food, like some bad food to like condition this. Why would I? But I want to condition proper behavior in myself. I want to self-develop. I want to self-grow. I want to condition good behavior and curb bad behavior. And when every evening is a feast like this, it's hard to do it. It's just hard. Like, what can I punish myself with when I have this feast waiting for me? What? I don't know. Some workout, but then again, workout should not be punishment. They should be pleasure. Some physical pain maybe, I don't know. And again, how you do it in a healthy manner. You need pain, not to harm yourself. I don't know how. There must be a way, I'm looking for it. But right now I just want to share that the problem exists. And aside from switching completely the pattern of feeding to have breakfast, lunch and no dinner, I don't know. And then again, it's so productive when you don't have to eat during the day. It works so well. Like, it's only later it starts to malfunction. At first, the benefits are immense because when you eat a good breakfast, you get distracted, you get a bit lazy afterwards. It's not the same, man. When you don't eat in the morning, it's so good. You're so refreshed and you get to do so much in the first hours of the morning when you're fasted. So eating in the morning is just not an option for me. But then you get the evening meal, and again you condition whatever you did as good by having a nice tasty meal here. I'm gonna add some more sauce here, just a little bit. Simply the best. Just count it. So delicious. I can't tell you how delicious this is. Again, it's my personal preference, but I just adore Doner Kebab so much. Literally the best. So I'm still looking for a solution here. To me, it's still an open question. So simply pure bliss and ecstasy, and it's just godlike. Right. Thank you all very much for joining me today. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so that you'll be the first one to know when I release another keto mukbang video. And then check out this playlist right here. It will have more healthy keto mukbangs that you will definitely enjoy. I love you all and see you all again real soon.